Hi, you're very welcome. And I'm just going to begin by giving you an overview of what pivot tables are about. So basically, it's about summarizing your data, right? And you know, that's really where we start from. So really, if you have a large data set, you often want to see summary numbers by month department. Use pivot tables for that. Use, just a reminder again, you must have clean data. Okay, so what does that mean? It has to be normalized, a separate complete record row for each and every entity. And as I sometimes like to mention in presentations when I'm doing this, if you go to Wikipedia and look up, data normalization, if you have insomnia, that will cure it. Right? Your headings need to be in one cell. Excel will kind of ignore entries above that. It'll kind of say, look, you really don't need those. Let's just pick up these ones. No blank rows or columns. Remove the totals, all right? And if you're doing this for any kind of accounting dumps, remove totals, and you also just need to usually remove your balance columns as well. Okay. And there's no such thing as ditto in data. Every line must be complete. Okay, and that's quite important. Okay. So at this point, I always like to mention that pivot tables, it's a pivot table, not a pivot couch, as per Ross in Friends, where he's hauling the couch up the stairs and would yell pivot at every single corner. Okay. And here I am again banging on about clean data. You can see there the headings all in one cell. Every entry is a complete entry. You can see there's no blank rows or columns, and there's no totals in it as well. So your data needs to be in that shape before you can go on to the next phase, which is constructing your pivot table. So what's it used for? If you want to see the total spending area by month, when you want to get totals from a large data set analysed by various categories, it's probably a good idea maybe just to look at sketching out on a piece of paper what exactly you're kind of looking for. All right. Here's the basic structure of it. Okay, so here we have our pivot table fields. The top half will be the headings from our data, and the bottom half where it says filters, columns, rows, and values. This is going to be where we have our, construct our pivot table. So here they have the values, and basically whatever you want calculated goes in there. Then you have your columns, which would be your headings from left to right. Then you have your rows. Those would be the headings that you have on the left of your data set. And then filters allows you to kind of narrow it down a bit more. You have some planning resources here. There's links usually in the event resources. I usually put a link to the one on Contextures and the one from Microsoft. But if you can't remember any of those, if you just type planning your pivot table into Excel, you'll get loads and loads of resources. Okay. However, the next section that I'm going to do with you is just basically, okay, if you have a data set and you're thinking I haven't to Scooby-Doo where to start, that's going to be the next thing that we're going to look at. So what we're going to start with is just this first one here, which is clicking your clean data set, insert a table, option 1, insert recommended pivot tables, and we're also going to look at analyze data. So that is going to be the first one that we are going to do. So I'm going to do that in a separate video. So yeah, let's just kind of pause it here.